Alright everyone, so we've got a very interesting matchup over here. This game was played a few days ago, and the map is Marsh. It is my Oranos versus FireFox's Hades. So this is a very classic matchup, I think. It was a classic matchup in the legacy version of Age of Mythology as well, and it still is. So yeah, this was a pretty fun game. So I opened up with I'm the one playing Oranos, by the way, and it's FireFox playing Hades. One and only. So I opened up with an economic guild here. So this game I'll try to basically give my rationale or my reasoning for my actions over here. Basically try to explain why I was playing the way I was playing. So I opened with the economic guild, even though I'm advancing extremely late. So the reason for this was because I wanted to respond to what the Hades player was doing rather than try to force the game in a certain direction, because if Hades goes 1 TC, Ares, and I go 2 TC, it's kind of an auto loss situation for the Atlantean player, unless it's like a perfect map, which this is probably not. So yeah, so I had to make sure I was playing very carefully. I did not want to make any silly mistakes. So I sacrificed my early TC time, as you can see, and rather I opened up with an economic guild, so I've got hand axe and pickaxe. And it's perfectly fine to advance late if you can defend, which I think Atlantean can really well, especially Oranos because of the sky passages. So I'm not too worried here at all. And I've got some hero oracles as well, you know, if I really need to defend with them versus the myth unit. So this is the fourth oracle, the extra one that I trained. The reason for this is because I wanna keep using basically keep heroizing my citizens and get theft of fire, so I can keep up with the eco in the late game. Atlantean does, well, I've been told that Atlantean does get a very nice eco in the late game, but I honestly do not have a lot of experience with it, because my game with Atlanteans do not really go into the super late game a lot of the times. And also I do not get to play a lot of Atlanteans in the tournament because it gets either banned or picked early on. So what I did was I deleted my Promethean. So I got 2 Promethean offsprings, and then I sent them onto the TCs and his side of the map. So I want to see whether he's taking a TC. I want to see what he's up to, so I can respond accordingly. This counter barracks was just like a, you know, what do you call it? A precautionary measure, I guess, because I wanted to be prepared for anything that he sends my way. These 2 Terma heroes are for the myth unit that he would send. And at this point, I see that he has not taken any of the town centers, which would indicate that he's playing a 1 TC game or a village center game. Now, knowing FireFox, I assumed that he would be going for like a village center. There would be some sneaky village center somewhere. So I send my Prometheans on the edge of the map, just scout, see where the village center is. This one is trying to scout in the main base, see if it is there. Some idle time over here, but I think he defended this. He did not lose a villager, I'm pretty sure. Yep. And I managed to save this as well, which is very good. So this is me taking a town center now. Yeah, see, these 2 Terma heroes were for this myth unit right here. Hopefully I do not lose them. Yeah, that would be a bit embarrassing if I did. Okay, good. This is such a good unique bonus of Oranos. If you hit a unit, you get line of sight off the unit for a few seconds. Actually, let me just check real quick how. It's for 25 seconds. That's actually a lot. I did not know that. I thought it was like 15 seconds or something, but 25 is a lot. So if it gets hit one time, I will be able to see this till 720, which is actually very insane. Yeah, see? That's such a cool bonus. Is it actually till 720? I think he's gonna get hit again, so it doesn't matter. Anyways, so let's switch over to FireFox's perspective, and yeah, see? A village center right in the middle of the map. I mean, at this point, I don't even need to scout it. I see his lack of army. I see, yeah, I see his lack of army, and I see the fact that his name is FireFox. So I know he's got a village center there somewhere. And once the Cairo Ballista comes out, it's just, you know, I try to bait him in into the TC range, and yeah, just like that. He will have to run away, and he loses a Minotaur and a Hoplite for basically nothing. So that was a really good trade for me. And yeah, I've got 50 favor, 43 favor. Okay, a Sky Passage. So yeah, I need to be heroizing my citizens more, but I am not because I've had to use it on one Cairo Ballista. And I do have Theft of Fire at this point. Yep, I do. So at this stage, I am a bit worried that he might try to kind of go all in and try to put a fortress in my face, which he, again, classic FireFox, he really likes doing that. So yeah, I'm just constantly scouting, seeing what he's up to. I feel like this is one of the things that really separate like the top players from like someone who's, I don't know, 1800, 1900 versus 2k plus, is a lack of scouting. And yeah, this is one of those games where my scouting was not extremely good. But it is fine because, you know, I feel like at the top level you kind of know the player, so you know what they're up to, which again opens up a lot of cheese strategies because you can surprise the other player. Yeah, see, village center right here, I see that. Now in my mind, I think he is either going to go for like a heroic push or he's going to take another TC. Simply because I cannot dive this TC anymore because he's used sentinels. And yeah, he just took a second TC, or if you want to call it a third TC. This was actually really good by him because I cannot really attack. Such a risky move to kind of, you know, dive the Oranos sky passages because I wanted him to attack this location. I had Cairo Ballistas inside the sky passage, so once he got closer, I just popped them out and I killed 3 of his hoplites. Really good trade for me. I don't think I've lost a single unit right now, while he's lost, I think, 5 hoplites and a Minotaur. But the thing is, he is getting further ahead in eco simply because he's on 3 town centers versus my 2 town centers. And a really big mistake that I'm making right now that I can see is the fact that I'm not using my Whaler, however you say it, Whaler non-stop. Yeah, that's a really big mistake actually. That's the entire reason I made oracles, an extra oracle. I made 2 extra, but he managed to pick 1 off. FireFox does this really well. He keeps hunting for the oracles throughout the game, at least in the early to the mid game, which is really good versus Oranos, or Atlantean in general. Yeah, see, this is the thing, you can't really dive this at all. Just taking so much extra damage for nothing. And he is going heroic as well. And he's going for this TC. Now this TC, I think, is a mistake. Like, I understand his thinking. At least I think I do. I think he is trying to basically get the map, get the entire map, the middle of the map, on lock, so he can get a safe mythic behind it. I think he'd be more than happy to sack this location, simply because it would allow him to get a mythic for free. So I'd have to invest a lot of resources in trying to take this TC down, while he'll be able to basically just buy time because of this TC and get mythic behind it. So I respond with a forward palace. I want to kind of try to secure the middle of the map as well. Again, this is Really big mistake by me actually. This not using this god power on cooldown. So now that I'm watching the game, yeah, I instead invest into satyrs, which are really good. Second temple, so I can get the upgrades. These two, oh wait, let me just, these two upgrades are really good. These three upgrades actually. The upgrade that allows their special to basically hit, I believe it's an extra 100% damage on the special attack. The upgrade Son of the Suns, which turns all the oracles into oracle heroes, and the heroic rejuvenation, I think it's called, heroic renewal, basically allows your heroes to regenerate and gives them an extra 10% hit points. Yeah, so he basically kind of forced me into investing into a lot of army in the heroic age, so I can push this town center. But he is actually trying to defend this as well, which I am a bit surprised. If I were the Hades player, I would be more than happy to just sack this location. Maybe, you know, fake defend this a little. Try to use curse on the... Yeah, perfect curse. I was just gonna say that. Use the curse on the destroyers, so I can buy time. While the TC takes out my Murmillo. This is really good. But then he sends his army as well, so he is trying to fight for this location. I am a bit surprised. Because if he did not invest into this army, he could be going mythic by now. So I see his heroes going after my myth unit, so I just send them into the Sky Passage while his heroes just die. The Cairo Ballista become pretty redundant once the Beltast come out, simply because they outrange them so greatly, and they do a lot of damage, a lot. It's 22 pierce damage to an archer per hit. At this stage, I should potentially be turning some of my citizens into heroes, simply because I have the resources to do so. I definitely need to get more oracles out. I've got 2 temples as well, but I am popped. This is a mistake that I've been making a lot lately, and I see everyone make this, literally everyone. It's the fact that they get popped when they're not at full villagers. So essentially I'm losing out on eco right now simply because I'm popped, while he keeps training villagers simply because he can. So he's getting further and further ahead in eco. Yeah, at this stage I don't think I should really be fighting. I mean, there's nothing really to fight for right now. And also this is horrible army positioning from me. The archers should not be in the middle of the fight like this. But I did manage to get the TC up, so I am fine. I can just retreat back. I've got a palace right here, a TC right here. He can't really push in. I don't think he has a fortress. Oh, he does have a fortress. But it's pretty far away, so he can't really get siege out immediately. So I'm fine now. But that was a really bad fight. That was a really big... I don't want to say throw, but that was a really bad fight. And I have clicked up Helios. So lately with Oranos, specifically, and potentially Kronos as well, I have been really preferring going Helios over the other 2 minor gods, Implode and Tartarian Gate, simply because I don't know if it's objectively better, but it's definitely better for my playstyle. Simply because I really like to play with like army mobility, which is why you'd see me going for like the faster units or faster unit army comp most of the time, simply because I really like having the mobility. And Helios is like the ultimate mobility. You can just teleport anywhere you want. So I've been really liking Helios, and Helios has really good synergy with a mass Arcus army, where you can kind of heroize your entire backline, the Arcus, which makes myth units completely useless. It gives them what's this? It gives them an extra 10% hit points, which isn't that big of a deal for archers, but it does give them what's it called? Rejuvenation of 1.5 hit points per second, which is a really big deal because your backline, in theory, should never die. Because while they keep fighting, they also keep regenerating, and they should not be getting attacked if you micro properly. Which, as you can see, I am not, so that's a skill issue right there. And now I see that he has hit Mythic, which means I am, in my mind at the time, I thought I was on a bit of a timer. Because Greek Mythic Age is a huge power spike. The fact that they can get the iron upgrades in like a matter of, I think it's like in less than 1.5 minutes. They can get full iron upgrade from no upgrades. And yeah, so basically here I was just trying to disrupt his economy, take down this GC. I wanted to distract him from this location. Basically create as much chaos as I can. My goal was to put him on the defensive, rather than just trying to push this location, because I needed time to get my own upgrades. I needed time to, you know, create parity. Because right now I'd just lose in a straight up fight. Even though it does say that I have more military here, I don't think I can fight his army. His heroes would take care of my myth units. I'm pretty sure he's got all 4 heroes, so they would just absolutely destroy my myth units. So I just needed time to get my army up, get that, you know, really strong army comp where all my units are heroized. This was not a good vortex at all, but it was mostly to run away from this army and to kind of protect my TC, which I failed to do so. But that's not that big of a deal because I can simply rebuild it. And I managed to take out his siege, I managed to take out this fortress, and I managed to kill some of his heroes as well. At least the main one. Kind of funny how fast this goes down actually. So I managed to kill the village center as well, which is completely pointless at this point, and it gives me nothing because he's already at max wills. But again, this is just buying time right now. I just want to get my eco in a position where I can heroize all my units. I'm at copper and double bronze versus his, I imagine, full iron. Yeah, he's basically full iron. He's getting this. Now at this point, I was a bit, yeah, you can see this heroization, and they regenerate 1.5 hit points per second. So even though all of these were at pretty low HP, they'll be full hit points in no time. Now at this stage, I was a bit worried that I might lose this location. But again, I'm just trying to constantly attack this location so I can keep him, you know, on the defensive. I don't want him attacking me, basically. Myth units are at this point completely useless because his heroes absolutely melt my myth units, especially Perseus. With his ranged attack, I think he like one hits the Centimanus. I might be wrong. Let me just see real quick. Major Petrification does 500 divine damage. Okay, so it does not kill the Centimenace, but almost kills it. Leaves it with like, I think, 300 hit points. So while he's petrified, the Chiron can just kill him really easily. Now at this stage, I thought I was dead. Because 4 TC Hades versus a 2 TC Oranos, in my mind, is almost an unwinnable matchup. This was also really bad Vortex, because these archers are in range of the Pell test. But I did manage to kind of react at a reasonable time. Really glad I managed to deny this fortress, because that would have been a really big problem. If you let FireFox get a fortress up, a forward fortress up, he will use about 50 sentinels on them. So you have to be really careful of that versus him. So now at this stage he is taking a bit of a bad fight, because he does not have any heroes over here, while I've got 2 Centimenace. Well, 1 now. Oh, he does have the Perseus, so yeah, see? It just completely negates myth units. And also I've only got 7 oracles. These need to be like at least 9 to 10 at this stage of the game. So the problem with this unit comp that I was talking about for Atlantean is the fact that once it dies, which it did kind of, it's really hard to get it going again. As soon as I say that, I get it going again. But that's the thing, it's a really big toll on your economy. I've got no favor for any myth units now. I barely have any eco for the armory upgrades. That's a really big problem. That's nice, he's healing up the Colossus. Again, I'm on copper and double bronze, which is really bad. That's what I'm talking about. If you keep making these into heroes, you do not have the eco for the proper armory upgrades. Actually, I wonder what the proper order to do this is. Because armory upgrades affect the heroes 15%, while they affect normal units 10%. So I think it's more worth it to get the armory upgrades sooner and then heroize your units, rather than heroizing them and sacrificing your armory upgrades. If that makes sense. In my mind it did. So yeah, at this point I was kind of ready to resign, but then I saw that I had the higher score, so I figured, might as well give it a try. Because 4 TC, fortified TC's Hades is really hard to like push. But for some reason his eco is really bad. I'm not entirely sure why actually. He is basically at 100 wills. And he has plenty of buildings as well, I'm not sure. Interesting, so while he is at 4 TCs, in theory he should have a really big advantage, it's just that he cannot repopulate properly. He does not have that many archery ranges, that's a mistake. He has the eco to spam out Peltast, but he does not have the buildings for it. Classic mistake, which gives me basically room to push, which I capitalize on, I think, and I hope I did. Another really good part about this that I'm realizing right now is the fact that this army comp, the Mass Hero Arcus, kind of makes the Hades Shades redundant, because they do absolutely no damage, and I think they take pop as well, right? Let me just check real quick. I think they take 1 pop, yeah. So this is basically a unit that is doing no damage, Has no value but is taking population. Though I guess he's not really worried about the population right now. I think once Oranos gets to this stage where he can just heroize his entire army, it is really hard to deal with. Another sentinel, I believe that's the third one. I might be wrong. Or maybe the fourth one actually. The third? I don't know. Yeah, you can see my citizen hero regenerating as well. Really cool bonus. And now, yeah, this is like such a good unit comp, Arcus and Fire Siphons. Though I do need a front line. I should have made a few destroyers here actually, so they can tank up the archer fire. I'm actually curious what the damage goes up to with engineers. It is 70.6 right now, and it goes up to 100. That is a lot of crush damage actually. That is a lot of damage. Yeah, and you can see the difference as well. The TC just falls. I'm surprised he's fighting over here. He's not even full pop, and he's fighting under, what is this? 1, 2, 3. About to be 4 palaces with a bunch of Arcus behind them. Very interesting. But I did see that he researched his Titan Gate. I wonder if my army would be trading this well if he was at full pop. I don't think so. I think Hades' army trades really well at equal pop. But the problem is he's never getting to full pop though. So I don't know. And he's making Helipolis as well, which basically need to get super close to deal with the Fire Siphons. And the Fire Siphons do a lot more damage. Rush damage. I think Petrobolus is the better choice here to deal with these. But he is very adamant on making Helipolis. Yeah, they've got 10 range versus the 24 range of Fire Siphons. And they have less damage as well. Yeah, you can see the damage. Insane damage. But anyways, I see he is making a Titan, so I have to make a Titan of my own. I honestly think I could have gotten away without a Titan as well, simply heroizing my entire army, but that would give him a lot of time to clear up this location and take back the TC, and I did not want to do that. So I decided to basically kind of push his trade route a bit. He did lose quite a few villagers here, and he lost a lot of donkey caravans as well. That's a big eco damage. You can see he's already struggling. That is a lot of damage actually. Yeah, this was a mistake by me. I needed a few Arcus behind this, or even a palace. Something to keep this alive. Losing a Fire Siphon to 3 villagers is a huge mistake. But anyways, I try to get this TC up. It should get denied because of these and the Helipolis. I'm pretty sure it gets denied. Maybe not. That is surprising. But yeah, the thing is he just cannot get to full pop FireFox. His eco is struggling so much because he's making a Titan as well, and his trade route got disrupted as well. He's made a market over here, which means I can just destroy this again really easily. I hope I do. Yeah, look at this. These are practically useless right here. They don't even do that much damage. They're doing 20 damage and they die. I should be heroizing all of these Arcus. But he's got a Titan now, and it is a Hades Titan, which means Hades gets a bonus where his myth units get more hit points, I believe. Myth units, yeah, so he's got an extra 15% hit points. You can see 32,200. And that's me heroizing this army. See, this is not really a good comparison, I want to say, because he, again, I've said this before as well, he's not getting to full pop. So he's taking really unfavorable fights. Like, he's fighting 3 times the military resource value. You can see the, the damage the Titan takes. Already down almost over 4,000 hit points. That's insane. Yeah, this vortex was simply so I could do as much damage as possible before my own Titan comes out. That is a lot of damage actually. Wow. Oh, wait, let me just... how did you do that? How do you do that? No, wait, like that. Okay, sorry about that. But yeah, even if we got here a bit sooner, it doesn't really matter because you have to destroy the Titan gate entirely to prevent the Titan from coming out. You can see just the absolute... I think the Arcus are doing more damage than the Titan actually. 12,000 damage. 18,000. Insane. But this does give him the opportunity to take this GC back and get to full pop. So the Titan did buy him a lot of advantage in that sense. So he's back to 4 TCs versus my 2 TCs, but now I've got a Titan of my own. I'm hoping that the Titan will be enough to kind of, you know, even out the playing field. These palaces are doing exactly what they were supposed to do, basically just buy me time. I did not really care about this Titan anymore. It could die for all I care. So I was more than happy to suicide it if it managed to kill enough of his units, which it did. You can see it absolutely just destroying those hoplites. I'm more focused on this location. I want to take this location and basically secure this side of the map and then get this side of the map later on. So basically I want to kind of squeeze him in to a small part of the map like I was a bit, like 10 to 12 minutes ago. My goal here is to kind of not allow him to get a proper trade route going. And yeah, just go in, take the TC again. I should have heroized all of these, seeing as how I have the eco for it. Really big mistake here. All of these definitely need to be heroes, for sure. This GC would be like almost up by now if they were. This was a mistake for sure. The Titan is dead. I don't really care. If anything, I want the population for more army over here, so I can secure this location. You see, he's not repopulating his army well enough. Does he only have 4 military barracks? He does have only 4 military. No, he does have a lot here as well. Now I'm finally getting the oracles out. Yeah, at this stage, I think a really big mistake that FireFox made this game was not having enough production. Because once he lost his army, it was impossible for him to repopulate once again. So I get this GC up, and at this stage, I don't think I can really lose. This army is too strong, and I can just come back here with these units. And he's again trying to push with, trying to deal with the fire siphons with the Helipolis, which you can see is not working at all. And yeah, at this stage I have unlimited eco basically. Like I can keep taking these fights, I don't care, I can just keep throwing units in his face. And he can't really deal with it at all. Now this unit comp I think is like the ideal Atlantean unit comp. You want these Helios Arcus in the back, you want some destroyers to tank up the archer fire, and you want a few fanatics to deal damage. And then the fire siphons just clear out buildings. And then you need to kind of move forward with the palaces slowly. Hopefully I do that. Yeah, okay, see? Just creep forward with palaces, maybe a sky passage as well. .94 pierce damage per second. Insane. But yeah, these units just clear out buildings so easily. At this stage it's pretty much won. I've doubled the military. And yeah, once the Warden of Tartarus start coming in, he does not have the eco to make Perseus after this one dies. And yeah, now these can basically just absolutely destroy everything. He's trying to take down my TC over here. I wonder if he is going to succeed. He is, but it doesn't really matter. And it's here, it's GG right there. So this was a really good game, really fun to play. Lots of ups and downs. Way more downs, I think. I think once I lost this TC and he was at 4 TCs and I was like pushed till here, I thought it was over. I was considering resigning, but then I saw we had a pretty even score, so I figured, you know, might as well give it a try. Glad I did. Yeah, I'm really surprised how good this unit comp is. These are, if you want to make them, you can, but it's more so about the heroes. The hero Arcus, the hero, basically everything heroized with fire siphons behind them. The Arcus are also really important because they've got 21 range. Just kind of insane actually. And these in theory should almost never die because they can take damage and then you just pull them back. And they can heal so easily. Really good game. Really fun game. He was in front on eco throughout the game actually. Except for this small part over here. Which is very surprising actually. But yeah, it didn't matter because I managed to kill like 221, no wait, 261 more units than he did. And that completely negates this minor economic advantage that he had. It's a really cool game. And thank you for watching. See you guys soon.